like looks like we're live. Fantastic. It is freezing, absolutely freezing, which is why I've got my fingerless mitts on, which are made from possum fur, I believe. That's how they knit it up. Now, possums are a pest in New Zealand, absolute pest. And whereas they love them in Australia, but Australia loves exporting criminals to New Zealand, and one of those criminals was possums. Today, you'll see in the main frame, this is the reference photo I'm going to have a crack at. I've already made a start on it, so let's move that image. And so I've just had a go at one petal, and just started on the next one. So the last stream I did, what a train wreck, what a disaster. But I did say on this channel, it's the journey. And sometimes things just get derailed. And that was the case with that painting. Wrong paper, wrong subject, wrong composition. Whatever could go wrong went wrong. Goodness for hot coffee. So I've started on another one, which hopefully will be a bit better. Now this painting here, I'm also going to do on this one here. And whichever one, so this is pastel matte, and this is me tientes, and it's a cotton rich paper, whereas this is a cellulose paper, and it's got much more grip to the surface. And I don't normally use the me tientes paper that much, but it is remarkably cheap, and most artists, pastel artists, are going to have a go at it at some stage. Now, I was watching a video of a pastel artist yesterday. I think it was from about 7 years ago, and he was using the UArt sanded paper, which is quite popular because it's so gritty. I'm not sure I can buy that here in New Zealand. So anyway, we'll crack on. Now, what I've discovered so far, been doing this, and this particular paper, I think is called Moonstone. That's the colour of it. It's got quite a black fibre mixed in. And when I got it, I thought, oh, maybe that'll be a nice neutral paper. And I think it's from the devil. It's not great at all. Anyway, let's zoom in. So why the white underneath? We're doing the white because I discovered the petal is a lot like skin. So if I bring up the photo of the reference photo again, and petals are often quite waxy, and but the closer I look at the petal, the more it reminds me of skin. And of course, I guess to the flower it is its skin. And so I've opted to just move some stuff around here so I can see my reference photo better. Yeah, everything's set up properly. Yep. So so when doing skin, I've learned that if you put down white to begin with, then the next colours you put on just blend in a lot better. Just overall, it's a much better feel. Then if you just slap down, so the colours that I'm using at the moment, these are the Carbothellos. So this is my main colour here, which in the past I would have just said, oh, that's a dark pink. But it's in the magenta range. I do have a pink to go with it for the lighter bits. And I've just started introducing a violet. This is a dark violet. So we've got magentas and violets, and the background, which I'm going to do in pan pastel, is going to be magentas and violets. That's the whole sort of vibe of this painting. So this is a Derwent, the 25D dark violet, and then I've brought in a Kohinoor. This is the Gioconda range, just for another violet. This is a magenta. I used to just call it dark red. This is my outlines, and for the outlines I'm also bringing in, this is a Gioconda as well, yeah. So a sort of violety blue for some of the edging. What else we got? So for darks, I'm mixing, so in the blacks at the moment, we've got, again, the Kohinoor Gioconda range for the green. So coming in for my darks in here, along with that Carbothello magenta, and that makes my blacks. Although I do have very dark violet, also for just adding into those darks. We've got a little bit of yellows, so I've got a graduation of yellow for a bit of warmth. I nearly said in the skin, in the petal. So a pit pastel, which is sort of an ivory, it's an off-white, yellowy, creamy colour. And then a creamy Carbothello. That's I use that a lot. I really need to buy another one. That's been a great pencil for blending. And then another Carbothello with it. This is a bit too yellow, I find. And then I'll get into some sort of ochres as well later on. But I'm just trying to limit my pencil range. It's very easy to get carried away with pencils. I quite like the pan pastels for that because they really limit what I'm going to use in the painting. And otherwise, I just get carried away and I have a bit of this and a bit of that. And I know some videos, if you're watching pastel videos, they're very good at putting up exactly the pastels that are being used. But to me, that's a bit like paint by numbers. And you're never going to get it exactly the same as someone else did. Well, unless you're a really good copyist. I mean, art forwards get the same, don't they? So that's enough chat, and I'm feeling a little bit warmer now, so we'll crack on. And I'll just see if I'm going to, it looks like I'm not going to be in the camera's way. As long as I don't do that to you, we're going to be okay. So I'll just carry on with this petal today, and I'm just going to, I'll do a couple of petals so you'll get a feel for how I'm doing it, and you can decide whether you like it or not. I don't mind if you don't like it. The one big problem I have found with this flower is I start doing a petal, and for some reason my eye keeps tracking to other petals. So I've got to keep looking to go, am I on the right petal? Otherwise the colours go wrong. So I've just put in some underlay in here. Put the carpet on top of the underlay, shall we? That's the one I want. And we'll go from this, I guess this is going to be my mid-tone. But we'll do that first and then we'll darken it up. Just try and get some shading going on. And for those who watch regularly, you'll notice I don't have my headphones on today, which probably helped a little bit in keeping my ears warm. But just very gently scramble that on and try and always do it to the uh, fold off, whether you're doing skin or in this case petal. You want to follow the direction of the right word. You've got heights and valleys. There's a word for that, but words escape me because it's so cold. It is, honestly, it's really freezing. My car to the garage yesterday, it's Warrant Fitness. I don't know if you have those in your country, but once a year we've got to take our vehicles here in New Zealand to get tested to see if they're still roadworthy. It was icy, very icy yesterday. I have found with this particular paper, this is the Benson tientes. My tientes. I'm never sure. I can't speak French. My apologies to French people. But Lisa's much better. A very light touch. Whereas Pastel Matte is quite an aggressive paper. And a Pastel Matte acts like a vacuum and just sucks the pastel straight off your pencil or stick. But you can't get as many layers with this paper. So you have to be economical in layering it up. Let's have a look at my head shot, make sure my head's not in the frame. No, that's good. Sometimes, because when I'm using pencil work and I'm doing quite fine, like eyes or noses, I tend to go very close. So I'm only about yay far from the picture with my eyes. Should I put my other glasses on? That would be a good idea. Put my work. Oh, my good grief. Just change your glasses, David. I don't know if you can tell, but this little section here is going straight onto the paper, whereas when I'm scrambling at the moment, most of it is going over the top of a white, and so therefore it a lot lighter. And what I'm thinking is, I will these petals at the back. So I've got some the sort of like the third. So this petal here is right at the front, and we've got a second petal. So and then that's a third one. And what I mean by that is, so you got one at the front, then you got one behind, so that's your secondary, and then you got your tertiary at the back. And I want to fade. I want the ones at the front to be the most detailed, and then slowly fade them back. So when we get to the back ones, they're the ones I want to do in pan pastel, so they're quite soft if I can get that effect. I'll probably do some layering in pencil first of all, just to tones it. Yeah, the petals um, sort of, while they curl out, they also curl in at the edges, so they're all sorts of different undulations going on, and which is why the light, quite beautiful light on the. Whoever took the photo. So I didn't take the photo. I got this from um, pixels.com. That's the place I go for my reference photos. Pixels. They're all photographers who upload them there. You've got a special license, creative license, and you're allowed to just do whatever you like with the. Well, you actually can't do everything you like. You're not allowed to upload it again and say it's your own, or any of the subjects make them um, do anything nasty to the subjects, as some people do with deep fake AI. Let's not talk about AI. Except for the fact, one of my friends who often supports the channel very well, I thank her very, very much. That's Neela. She wrote an excellent article today on AI and business. And remarkably, I think it was some 76% of all businesses that are doing AI projects at the moment are failing. Projects are failing. A lot of IT projects, because that's the business area I used to work in. A lot of IT projects fail anyway. It's the nature of trying to create something out of nothing. Like art, really, in some ways. I mean, I wonder what the failure rate for art is. This painting is now in my box of shame, if you're wondering where it is. But it was all a learning curve. And so you don't try, you don't learn. Another. This is. I love this. This is called Dark Violet. Look at that. Dark Violet. Come on. That light. Yeah. Anyway, so Nilo wrote this fantastic article and quoted all these sources on businesses that are rushing into using AI without really knowing what they're doing. Um, isn't that the way? It's not that AI can't be useful. Wrong. Many people jump on bandwagons and well, they know what they're doing. That piece that runs just yeah. Ooh, that's my ooh, idea. So I am using very, very light strokes. The oh, just greasing the paper and not really blending. Really blending. Doing any blending. Oh, hi, Donna. Hey, Morena. Kia ora. I'm going to practice my way out with my friend Donna. Kapai for joining. Hope you've got your coffee, Donna. And apologies to those who are watching on in the background, but I'll just reiterate some stuff for Donna because she's just joined in live. And I'm doing this particular painting, Donna. I'll bring up the main picture for you. Let's bring this up. I've really couldn't make that dark. That's okay. I'm working from light to dark. Um, so after the train wreck of Wanaka, um, which really threw my confidence, shouldn't have, but it did. It was a good learning experience. Pick this one. So I'm going to do this. This is on a cotton paper, and then I'm going to do. Whoops. Let's show you what I'm doing. So I'm doing this on a cotton paper, and then I'm going to do it on pastel mat, which you can get a lot more layers on. And actually, the paper is much more the colour of the paper is much more suitable than this. I don't know why I picked this, but I had it in my stash, and you got it. Like my wife watches these sewing shows, and there was one the other day, and the lady was making a top out of a scarf. She's like, "Well, it's lying around. I'm not using it, so I'll use it for something else." So sometimes you do that as an artist. It's like I've got to use this stuff up, otherwise, it was a waste of money. I picked this one, Donna, because it is the petals are close to skin, and I'm going 10:27. I'll go for another 15 minutes, but I'll start um, about Louis. So the petals are very close to working on skin, and of course I've done a lot of people portraits, so that's why I'm doing this. You're going to get to the dark stage, move to the dark side, but we're going to do it slowly. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do it slowly, build it up, and I think we will go. That is that back. We'll build it up and down here. I don't mind actually this color paper because I want it to. When you use a tientes, a Canson paper, you want some of the paper to be showing through. Wanamaker. Wanaka. Yes, Wanaka, the train wreck of Wanaka. That was the painting I tried, and it didn't work. I could not. I just decided, you know what? I decided on it. It was like, I'm not going to put any more time into this painting for now. I'll come back to it, but um, on a different paper. And where's my pupil? Here we go. It needs to be quite dark in here, but not too dark because I need colour to be shown through, so I don't want it black. White in there. Be yellow, lemon yellow. Right, be yellow. Let's try that lemon yellow. I never like it. I need to define that edge a bit better. I risk bringing out super white. I think I might. It's the one I need. So this is a charcoal white, General's charcoal white. If you ever want a white, super white, you just can't find a white enough colour. Totally recommend that. It's just so white. We're going to go with a blue and red combo. my darkest blue. Dark blue. Our own purple. Where does it go? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's what I'm after. And I was saying before, Donna, that biggest problem I'm having with this painting is I'm doing this leaf here, but my eyes keep tracking to, well, petal rather. My eyes keep tracking to the one behind it. It's like I'm doing the wrong petal. It's really frustrating. We want magentas. I've got to find the light dark in order for the shape of the shape of the petals to appear properly. Line in there. Very bluey. Just trying to pull this graduation between the magentas and the violets. Anyway, while I away at this, let's see if how you are doing. Helen's finally got them over here. Gold she picked up from Dinah. Good. Yeah, maybe the idea here is the second one is a bit cooler in temperature. useful. It's been really refreshing actually to use this pink. Um, that's been really nice. It's, it's so rarely used, a hot pink. Need to finish the whole petal off in one go. You just need to block it in. I come back to it, and often when I've got the next one in, I can keep the relationship. But I know this needs to be a lot darker, much darker. Dark, bright spots. I'm going to play with blue. Uh, I was watching this artist. He was doing he was doing clouds, and he in his underpainting or blocking in, he did this beautiful turquoise lower sky. It was just stunning. He had cobalt up top. It's beautiful. But he overworked it, and I could see him trying to rescue it, and I just knew exactly what was going on. Um, like, oh, you put in an extra color and you desaturated it, and it's just not the same. It was a nice painting, but it wasn't as good as Yes did it. I'm like, oh, I know that pain. I know it. You start to get a bit more. That's right. And Pastel's quite forgiving. You can just knock it back. Let's take it off. Really yellowy. What I do is put a white all the way around there. See? Need a to glaze over it all. Need to well, very tempting to try and draw the whole petal, but you want to block it in. How's that coffee going? Oh no, it's that bottom fifth of the coffee. It'll be cold. Yucky. It's yucky. Ugh. Right, so I'll just quickly do a blocking in of this petal here so you can see how I'm doing it with a skin tucking style. Now this is a Conte pastel pencil. France. Very old brand actually, the Conte's. Contours, that was the word I was trying to find in my head earlier, and now that I've warmed up, it cool down with that yucky coffee. Follow the contours. It's like my wife's coming in from the gardening, and that's a very happy thing to happen because that means we can go to a cafe now. Library, you've got a library box. I read this fantastic book called Harrison Ruins, and followed Edouard Manet, and I think her name's pronounced Berthe Morisot, and amazing, unrequited love story. It was just, she fell in love with him to begin with, but he was already married. Um, and, later on, he fell in love with her. It just, but all through it's a real story. It follows the fall of Paris to the Germans or Prussians, as they were. Terrible atrocities that happened both by the Prussians and then later on by the French had a civil war. It's just terrible. And it led to the Impressionist movement. And the Impressionists, um, they would not paint historical paintings um, or anything sad that was traditional. They just painted light and um, they painted scenes where terrible atrocities happened, but they wouldn't paint the atrocities. And Edouard was sort of part of the movement. Him and Berthaud lived in Paris during both the Prussian War and the French Civil War, and saw terrible things. Whereas most of the other Impressionists, Renoir and Monet was in England. He was nowhere to be seen, and just an amazing book. Apart from explaining where Impressionists came from, just this couple, and when she died, she got a respiratory illness, and her daughter, I think, was about 15 or 16 at the time, Julie, and the other artists, they loved her, and Julie talks about Renoir coming to her home and just enveloping her in this big hug. Then they put on an exhibition of her mum's work, who had already been, she was one of the few women artists to be invited to display at the French saloon. Anyway, it's quite touching. So this is the bones of the next petal, and the next time I start streaming, I should have a bunch of these done. They obviously take me a while, but I'll also start on the background so we can start getting some context of where these fit in. And then, as I said before, once I've done this particular painting, I'll do the same one, but on this particular paper, and we'll see what the difference is. I'm very happy with this petal. This one's still got work to be done on it to get the light working. It's a bit shapeless, but that's okay. I figured I just want the front ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 petals to be more detailed than the others, and then the focus to drift into sort of a bit dreamy in this end bit. I want to have a crack at using the pan pastels to see if we can just sort of fade them out into the background more. This front bit, it looks like a bee, so I'll just bring up the picture. And I'll sign off. So you can see the small picture, but let's bring up the reference. So if you look at the centre of the flower, it just reminds me of the bee sticking its butt up in the air, you can see the yellow and the black around it. It's like, what the heck? So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do those little, call them stamen? Is that the right name? But these bits where all the pollen's going to be. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, it's nice to be streaming and not feel like I'm in a train wreck moment. Thank you so much to Donna for your comments, whoever else joined on the live. I will be back doing this flower. I don't know when, but I will be back at least next week anyway. until I see you again, have a safe week. Hope it's warm or not too warm where you are. You're watching from the US, I understand you've got quite a heat wave going on. So, thank you very much. Until next time.